This is going to be very quick. This is about the feature list. I wasn't able to get with Joao before I kind of got what's going on and then I implemented it, but I guess he's off this week. So, but basically, what I've done is I have an identity window here. Bring it up, identity tool. This is the identity tool here, as everyone see. Uh, as you can see, it looks almost the same, except at the very top. You see this triangle with a pointing down? This is now a feature list, and there's a title that comes up called feature list. You guys can see that? You can. So when I click it,
Yeah.
what it's going to do is a new window will pop up called identity feature list there. And what it'll display is one of the six features, but it will open up to the feature that when you click the feature list, it'll open to that feature. So right now is 152349 feature identifier, and that's the one that's being displayed now. The name that you see there is the display name. So whatever display name they have, that's what I use on there. And if there is no display name, I find the OID of the feature, and that's what I use. So that's it. So basically, as I go through the next list, you can see the identity feature list jump to those different different features on the list. Now, it could work both ways. Obviously, I can go down to the water main and click on this one, and it'll update the identity uh, display. And that's all it basically does. So I can close this, maneuver this to like number 4 here, and I could click the feature list, and it'll open up to that feature list. It should be highlighted there, as you can see. But the main point is for them to navigate through here instead of going through the next and previous. I give them a new window here that they were able to go down, because I know the water utilities, because I know it doesn't have any links, but I know that my water main and my water system valves do. So I can click on it and it automatically jumps to that on my identity display window. Now, and that's all it basically does. This is my first UI I ever done, so this is pretty cool for the dojo stuff. So one of the things I also did is if I want to click to something else, like over here, see, I also update identity feature list with the new list. So you can see there's only 2 now, right? So if I wanted a whole bunch here, 12, there's 9. So there's a new 9. So I could come down here and start opening. Oops, that's me because I don't have a mouse. Opening here through here, all these, and I can highlight this one. Right now, I can click this feature list again, and it'll close all my and just close all the other uh, uh, layers, and just goes directly to that feature list, that feature right here. Okay. One of the things I want to explain is the top level, the water network and water utility, is the given name that you created in the map manager for the map server. The detailed is this detailed here and the water distribution system water network. That's the grouping. And following is the layer. And then obviously underneath is the feature. Now, let me see, that's cool. And then there are ones like, for example, if there isn't a group, I handle that fine too, because this right here is not a feature group. That's me, just, I don't have a mouse there. So, okay, see, this is damaged commercial, and it opens up to this name business. As you can see, it has the CDA is the name given in the map manager, and then this is the layer, and that's the feature. And you can see the name of business. The name of business is the actual display name of the of this of all the features under this damaged commercial buildings. And now obviously I could extend this to 19, hit that again, Now I have 5 of them. Let's update. Now I hope this is what Joao wanted. I couldn't touch them, and we're kind of closing towards the end here. So I hope you guys can tell me if this is okay. So far, I don't know how much I could do by the end of the week. What else can I say? Oh, this window will stay open unless I close it here, or I close this identity, or I move to a new tool. The reason why is because when you close this guy, the tool is still highlighted and then it's still done. So that's all right. And plus it gives an option for him to look around, and if he finds something here and clicks here, I'll update the feature list. This way he don't have to play with the next and previous anymore. He just can pick it out through here. What else? So for example, if I went to the results window, it disappears, both the feature list and the identity window. And if I want it back, I have to click this guy, come over here, and I have to click it again, the feature list for the 23 comes up. Now again, if I was using through the previous and he gets tired trying to look for it, he can always come on here. That's me and I don't have a mouse, sorry guys. That's good enough too. So if he comes over here and keep going next, there, 4, and then I click over here, he will open up to the feature that's displayed here. 90928, 90928. One thing I want to make sure in testing, in case you get confused, sometimes the feature list, the order is not the same as here. For example, there might be times where number 1 may be down here. It's just the way this feature list is built compared to this one. I take the array that was delivered to the identity feature here, and I capture which item in the array it's at, and I keep it in record. So when I display it here, I can go back and click it to that. For example, this is 3. Yeah, I probably won't do this one, but there's a few of them that will jump around. But just to let you know, it's not always in order. For this one it is, but there's others that might not be in order. There's 39 of them, damn. See number 1, and look at all these. So number 1 is all the way down here. So I just want to make sure you guys are familiar with that. So what else? That's basically it. And if I move to another tool here, they'll disappear together. They're gone. Do that. Click on this. Back to tool. Come back here. Click that guy. There you go. Can go through here. And obviously it's behind this thing. Any questions? That's it, basically. But the difficult part was in boundary code. And there's another tip message for you guys. So we have 3. So we have the identity feature list title here. The little upside down triangle says feature list. And then this is a more descriptive list about the identity feature list window. So in case the ID guys wants to change it a little bit for me, that's fine. But I think I got it pretty good. But you guys will let me know. Any other questions or anything you want me to navigate to or something that pertains to this?
Roger, it will remain open if you navigate through the tabs and back to the map tab.
If you go where? It remains open until the identity window closes or I close it myself. Is that the question you want to ask? So I can close this guy. He's going to stay open. I mean, he won't do nothing. He's going to stay open. The reason why I don't close them is because sometimes they might hit that by accident because it's such a small window, or they might be searching for something and they get something like this, no information available. They want the window open, right? So they don't want to reopen it again. So that was one of the things I wanted to discuss with
Sorry,
Joao.
sorry, Roger.
Sure.
drop off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying that the only time this window will ever disappear is when I close it with an X, or I close the identity window, or I move to a new tool. So I closed the identity window already, but the tool is still active, so it's still open. I left it on there on purpose because in case they're trying to search for something, they get this no information. I don't want it. They open this window, they want to leave it open. So until they find their target and actually click it and get something, then it updates automatically. Now the only time this window will disappear if I go like that, but you can always get it again like that. And you can hit it as many times as you
So
want. It just refreshes.
yeah, so it will remain uh, open if you click on the asset tab and back to the map.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. It's a good question. Does the identity window? Well, if the identity window is gone, then no. So once the identity when that tool is no longer highlighted, then no. So it's the same behavior. I hope that answers
Okay.
that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever he leaves that identity tool, the window will close. So let me do that again. I don't know why it was zoomed in so much like that, but let's do it again. So I have that. You could move in a few there. Click on this guy here. Got that window. If I go to the asset, yeah, it disappears. And when you come back, if the identity tool is not highlighted, then nothing is displayed. And then once I do highlight it, click it, it's like doing it all over again from scratch. No information. There you go, one of six. And so I can click it. So I think the overall goal was, I think people using this next and previous and getting angry of trying to find what they're looking for. So this extra little window helps them navigate to it quicker. So if they wanted the water system valve, but under this map manager, they can do it and click it and get to that. Any other questions? Good question, though. I didn't test that one. I was hoping it worked. It's a good one. Uh, Anything else?
I just have a quick comment. Is there any potential, maybe in future releases, to kind of merge these two windows and then
Well,
just kind of do away with the previous and next altogether?
that would be up to Joao and the customer to decide. The reason why I couldn't do anything in here is because this little dialogue is a pop-up window that belongs to Esri, and in order for me to put this column here, I had to play with a CSS file to move stuff, and then I had to copy uh, the image that they use for this, and I turned the image around and I tried to get a upside triangle. So I kind of bastardized this to do this. But if we were to do that, we would probably have like a feature list, right? And then if you click on here, maybe right underneath it, it'll display all the details information right on the feature list instead of get
Yeah,
rid of
or
get
kind of
rid of
have
the
that be
dialogue.
like a right, or have that be like the talk, and then in a pane to the right would be all the details.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, and yeah, Dojo could do that, but that's not how it's currently
Yeah,
designed.
no, I think in the current context, it's cool the way you implemented it, but I was just wondering for future.
But oh yeah, anything is possible. I was thinking about that the other yesterday, actually, late yesterday when I was checking in the code and stuff. I says, man, we probably just get rid of the identity and just put everything in this feature list window. Be prettier. But we don't have the time, and I didn't have time to play to do that. I'm not as fast as the other guys. Those other guys are pretty fast.
Yeah.
Dojo's developers in our team. Any other question, guys? Now the ID guys, I have three, so it's under here, feature list, this one here, and the description about the table, which should pop out in a few minutes. There it goes. Anything else, guys? So I'm not sure if you've seen this while we're on here. System. these are the new IDs here. I'm sure everyone's seen them before. So this is add to results. This is a link, set to current, and map. That's it. It's really short. The hardest part was trying to figure out all the back end stuff to work with this Esri pop-up thing and to do my own little uh, tree UI here, and then get that information, build it correctly here, and then to interact between the two.
I have a question. Uh, the user can change the GIS attributes that identify the feature. In your case, it's facility identify. They can change it to the other attributes.
I'm not sure. What do you mean, the display identity? I'm
Yes.
sorry. Oh, that has to be done in ArcGIS. Um,
Oh,
we, we
you get this from the
Arc,
yes or
yeah,
ArcGIS
right. They set it up on the
display
table.
field.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get this from the display field configuration in the map layer.
that is correct. But I
That's
cheat.
correct.
I use the identity. This identity dialog already does that for me. So I get that big table list. I mean that JSON dialog that he already creates, and I go in and find it. I can show you the code of that. That's pretty cool. It's not my code. I just use it to get that display information. And if you stay for the
Yeah,
code review, I'll show
like
you.
yeah, I tried to because I have a test scenario to change this on the arc map, so
Yeah.
I test it.
Yeah, I try to find one. There's other ones in here that it was different. Oh yeah, I showed you one. The one with one of these things here. Yeah, come on. Yeah, this business thing. See, he has a name of business, and this is a different uh, map server, and it doesn't have a group. It just has a layer, and then the feature, and that's the name of business is the display name. And that's it. Any other questions? But I agree. I see this in the future being merged together. I don't think there's a reason for two different. I think this feature identity list is pretty cool, and and replace this.
But I just sent a screenshot where the user can define it on the ArcMap. That is information that you are using, correct?
Correct. That is correct. That is how we know. Yes. In fact, if I go, I don't. Let me just bring that database up. Um, uh, yeah, let me see. I'll try to find it real quick if you, because this is all it is. So let me see if I could find feature here, layer. Here goes right here. Let me show you. See display field name. It's right here. You see it, Milton?
Yes, I send it on the same time the screenshot
Right.
where the user can define it
Yep. That's where it's
on the
at.
same time.
I don't know. You could test that. Hopefully, it changes this here, which I think it does because you have to export this back up to ArcGIS. So then they'll probably change this right here, display field. See, I also capture in case it's null, like you have none here. I do have a case that does work that in the code, and I've done it here. I just can't find one. Let me see. Let's go really large here. Where there wasn't one, well, these all have them larger. Uh, it might be a different test that I was doing on a different map server layer. There's 39 of them. No, they all have the same. This one's all the same. Yeah, I think I have a different map layer that has it where the field identifier is a null. I mean, not the field identifier, the display was a null. So what I do is I find the OID. Most of the time, the OID is actually the object ID name, but it doesn't have to be. So I look for the OID, and I will look for the OID name, and I look for the OID value, and that's what I populate here. Instead of the facilities ID would be the OID name and the OID value. And that's because the person never defined a display um, field in the ArcGIS. And I'll show you that part of the code that I do that. Anything else? Well, I am done. So if you guys are good, then we're going to go to the code review. That's where we get done everything quickly. But I agree with you. I think these two should be merged. If I had more time, I would play to see how I could do that, and then maybe somehow bring these controls in here somehow. But I'm sure it's possible. I just didn't have time. Okay.
Looks good. Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys. I also have a recording here. I'm going to stop it right now.